Brody, I'm going to test it now. Yeah, I think I can hear me. All right, good morning, guys. All right, stocks in the S&P closed higher. Obviously, as we saw, we pulled back quite a bit off the lows. The States returning from Monday's holiday, so they were playing a bit of catch up. They ended positive, but definitely not as much, not as high as Europe was on that Monday. The US ISM manufacturing index jumped to its highest level since June 2011. Asian stocks are trading lower before inching into the green as uncertainty grows that the US is moving closer to military intervention in Syria. Just an update on those. Aussies, I think, closed down 35 points, so a little more than you see on that chart there. I think Nikkei up a little more than you see there. I think it's up 0.5%. And Hong Kong pretty much flat on the day. And then oil traded higher after Barack Obama got support from 3 opposition members for his proposed military strike. And then no corporate action today, so a pretty light day there. And Aussie second quarter GDP came in a little bit better than expected, 0.6% as opposed to 0.5% expected. HSBC Market Services PMI out of China came out a little bit better, 52.8, expected 51.3. And then later on this morning, we've got PMI services pretty much out of the entire Eurozone. We've got second quarter GDP out of the Eurozone at 11, and retail sales as well out of the Eurozone 11. At 1 o'clock, we have NBA mortgage applications out of the US. 2:30 is trade balance, and then after our close at 6:30, they've got Fed President Williams delivers a speech, and the Fed releases its base book at 8. All right, let's have a look at a few stocks. Okay, let's start with the Aussie. So the Aussies had 2 remarkably strong days. I see futures down, opened this morning around 350, so down a little bit. If we look at the level that it failed of yesterday, this 38,500 to 38,550 level, we can see that resistance is still holding. I think it remains to be a pretty important level. If we can't break through that level over the next few days, then I think that the risk is to the downside. If we break through that level, then we're definitely targeting all-time highs and perhaps through to 39,000. Let's have a quick look at the 30-minute while we're on it. So you can see there's the 38,000. Well, that's 477 and sort of 550 on the upside. So failing that at the moment, and we also, if we have to draw a trend line in there, we're sort of failing this immediate trend line on the short-term chart. So we're going to continue watching those levels. As I say, as long as we stay below 38,500 to 38,550, then the risk remains to the downside. All right, let's have a look at Anglos quickly. Go to daily. So Anglos broke out of a short-term little consolidation there, new 1-year highs. If we go to slightly, let's say a weekly chart here, we've got that head and shoulders on the weekly that we've been showing for a long time. Drawing a few trend lines here, we can really see that Anglos is approaching sort of major resistance here around the 250 to 254 sort of levels. Currently, I think we closed around 249, if I'm not mistaken. So we're approaching that very important resistance. If we do see a bit of market weakness, we could see it reverse off those levels. If we get through those levels, then I'd say we've really the tides have really turned on Anglos, and we can start looking for some much higher targets in the stock. It might come, it is a little bit overbought in the short term, so we might see a little bit of a correction before we see that next push higher. And then if we look at Billy's, let's go to a daily chart. Well, Billy's had that big gap up a few weeks ago, and it's been flagging ever since. Pretty much found support right on the base of that flag. and of yesterday, it had a very big day. I see on Monday it made up its I think it was about R6.60 dividend or R7 dividend, somewhere there. It made up the full dividend and still ended positive on the day, and then yesterday it carried on, and so we've clearly broken through that flag. Targets to new all-time highs, at least, I would say, on the stock, unless we get some major market weakness. First Rand came out with a trading statement yesterday. I think the market liked it. We've got two patterns happening here on First Rand. We've got this sort of major basing pattern, which is showing a much higher target to around I would say $33. Since then, it's been consolidating right on top. It's found support on the breakout level and has been flagging. And then yesterday we clearly broke through that flag, or actually probably we even broke through the previous day. And we gapped higher on that trading statement, but ended sort of I would say towards the middle of the trading range on the day. Continue to watch for. I would say based on this breakout, we're looking at previous highs around 31.28, and then onto the target of the flag is about 32, and the target of the big basing pattern is 33. So higher targets on a few levels on First Rand. Definitely looking bullish at the moment. Let's have a look at MTN. Now, MTN, I just want to comment on the trade action. We've had a major seller over the last few days. The market's been strong, but they haven't been able to get MTN up at all. Given the size of the seller, I would say he's probably going to be around for a little longer. And I wouldn't look to buy immediately. I would look to buy once you see that he's not there, or there's a little bit of strength. So if we look at some levels, I would say 175 is obviously quite a big level horizontally, and on the trend line, if we see a nice reversal off that level, that could be a good buying opportunity. Even if we get a reversal off current levels, but I just don't think that the seller is going to let up in the short term. Let's have a look at Mediclinic. Mediclinic, I think we showed a little while ago. It's broken out from a nice consolidation over here. It moved higher quite quickly and found support. It flagged, found support on the breakout line, and has reversed off that line over the last sort of week. The last few days it's sort of moved sideways, but I would say a move above 74 could really see it move towards its target at around $80, I think it is. Yeah. But the size of this consolidation projects a target of $80, and at the moment it's looking pretty solid, and most likely we'll get there quite quickly if we can get through 74 Rand. And the last one I wanted to show was the Foschini Group. They came out with an earnings update yesterday. This is one we've shown quite a bit as well, in a downtrend with lower targets from the break of that sort of double top on the over here. Been moving sideways in the flag. Pretty bearish setup all in all. We did get some strength off that earnings update. I think the sales growth beat and like-for-like growth beat, but it hasn't been that marvelous. Given how strong the market in general has been as well. So a break above 102 to the upside, call it 103 maybe to be safe, would negate this sort of bear flag. If we see some weakness we're kind of sitting right on the 20-day moving average, a weakness off current levels could be worth a short. Otherwise, if it moves below 96, that would be very bearish, and I would say then we're looking at targets from the double top breakdown at around 83 to 85 Rand. And that's all for today, guys. Good luck trading.